Alrighty, what is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here back with another video, and in this one, we're going to be diving into some news here. The New England Patriots making another free agent signing here right before the start of the 2023 NFL Draft. But before we get into this one, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. You guys know I have you covered for everything involving your six-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, whether it's signings, trades, the draft, breakdowns, in-season analysis, postseason analysis. I have you covered for everything. This is your spot for everything New England Patriots. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and listen to me on all platforms. Link to those in the description box in all my videos. But in this one, we're going to be talking about the New England Patriots signing free agent quarterback, not cornerback, quarterback, Trace McSorley. But you know, we only have one way we start all of our videos. So without further ado, let's hop into this one. Now, I was hoping the Patriots would make a couple more free agent signings, one or two more signings before the draft. There is a period of time between free agency and the start of the new legal tampering period and the start of the draft where there's just a dead period. But right before the draft, we usually pick up with a little bit of news, whether that's teams signing last-minute free agents, making some trades with draft capital. So I did expect the Patriots to make some sort of move. And of course, they ended up going quarterback here. And this, to me, mainly hits on a theory that I had when the Patriots released Brian Hoyer. And if you followed the channel for a little bit now, you would know that theory because I've talked about it a lot. I've talked about it a lot in terms of Bill Belichick and the drama going around with Mac Jones and the issues with the Patriots offense this past year. But the Patriots released Brian Hoyer a few weeks ago in a very surprising move. Now, why was it surprising? Because there was absolutely no reason for the Patriots to release Brian Hoyer. They saved about $1.9 million, or they owe him $1.9 million, but you had to pay him that money no matter when you released him. They could have cut him for roster cutdowns and still had to pay him $1.9 million. So why not keep a key poised veteran in the National Football League that knows this system like the back of his hand, probably the best quarterback behind Tom Brady to know this system? Why would you release him? Well, it was because Brian Hoyer, like I mentioned before, spoke out against the Patriots' offensive struggles this past year, and it led to his release. And a lot of you said, Brian Hoyer's not good. He wasn't going to see the field anyway, and the Patriots have their two quarterbacks. Problem here is that now the Patriots are back to a 3-quarterback depth chart. The release of Brian Hoyer, this move shows us that the release of Brian Hoyer was not because they just wanted to roll with Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones with a 2-quarterback system, potentially draft another guy. It was because of the issues between Brian Hoyer and Bill Belichick after Hoyer spoke out about the negativities of the Patriots offense. And again, I think this is a dumb move for the Patriots at the end of the day. I think that in terms of what Brian Hoyer brought to the Patriots, this move of him to McSorley is not even a lateral move. This is a backwards move. McSorley is not fighting for a roster spot. Swirly's not going to see the field. Your starting quarterback is Mac Jones, and the guy backing him up, and if you want to say there's a quarterback battle, the guy who's battling Mac Jones would be Bailey Zappi. McSorley's not in this conversation at all to fight for that QB1 spot. So at this point, what QB3 is going to be is a veteran, a guy that who's going to be a poised veteran on the field for you. He's going to kind of serve as a quarterback's coach there and a little bit of an offensive coordinator for your young quarterbacks in Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi in times that, let's say, Bill Belichick or Bill O'Brien are not able to be present because they're working with the running backs, the wide receivers, tight ends, offensive line, whatnot. Another form of the offense that is not the quarterbacks. That is where Brian Hoyer came in to be a key piece. He actually mentored Mac Jones a lot since he came into the league. We give a lot of credit to Josh McDaniels, as we should, but a lot of that actually came back on Brian Hoyer and what he was able to do, not to mention the fact that Brian Hoyer, from this is coming not from me, but the guys from within the Patriots locker room said Brian Hoyer was a big reason the Patriots won Super Bowl 53 because he was able to really encapture the body of the playing style of Jared Goff, which was able to get the Patriots defense prepared to play the Rams in Super Bowl 53 and ultimately win. So like I said, when you're rolling with QB3, that guy is a guy who isn't going to see playing time unless it comes to injuries, and is usually a guy that's there to help mentor your younger guys and kind of be a stepping stone and a block for them to be like, hey, the National Football League, we do things a little bit different here. You want to get your release out a little bit quicker here. You want to hit this guy 2 steps before, or you want to hit him 5 yards above this route, whatever. So that's one thing that I do think with Brian Hoyer to Trace McSorley is a bad move in terms for the Patriots. In terms of McSorley himself, I actually have been a fan of him. I thought that he's brought some really interesting aspects to the National Football League. He was originally a 6th-round pick by the Baltimore Ravens just back in 2019. So, even this being your QB3, he's a veteran, but he's not a true poised veteran in the National Football League. He's still pretty young. He's 27 years old, despite only being drafted in 2019. He is still 27 years old. But I think there's better options the Patriots could have gone, again, in terms of a veteran QB3. And the only reason I think they went with McSorley is because of Bill O'Brien. And we're seeing a lot of this. And I wonder if Bill O'Brien, they kind of enticed him to come here saying, you will have the reins to the guys you want in terms of signing and drafting when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Because Mike Gesicki, originally recruited to Penn State by Bill O'Brien. Trace McSorley, he was actually recruited by Bill O'Brien also to Penn State. So there is some layover, there's some lapover, and there's familiarity between these guys. So, obviously when a coach is able to recruit a guy to college and then bring him into the NFL, it's only going to help you being familiar. But in terms of just guys, I think the Patriots could have gone with as a QB3 that could have been cheap, because this for McSorley is a 1-year deal. I'm going to guess it's for the bare minimum. We don't know the terms of it yet, just that it's a 1-year deal. But I mean, you could have brought in maybe like a Carson Wentz. You could have brought in like a Matt Ryan, a Teddy Bridgewater, maybe a Joe Flacco. I think a Blake Gabbert also could have been a really good low-key veteran addition for the Patriots at QB3. But other than that, yeah, those are probably the only other quarterbacks I'd go to. I wouldn't even head to Mason Rudolph, but get an older, poised veteran, a guy who, let's be honest, he's so far past his prime and he's so old that teams are not going to go to that quarterback as a starting quarterback. Like Joe Flacco with the Jets was never starting. That's just, it's plain and simple. He was never going to start. He was there to help mentor Zach Wilson. I think Carson Wentz kind of at that point of his career too. I think Blaine Gabbert would be a great guy to do that. Teddy Bridgewater kind of getting to that point also where I think he could help a little. But I mean, a Joe Flacco, a Carson Wentz, and especially a Matt Ryan here to help mentor Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, especially for Jones in, say, proven year 3, I think would have gone a long way, especially after releasing Brian Hoyer. But a little bit back here to Swirly. He's a guy that I think brings a little bit more of what the Patriots maybe are liking in their quarterbacks. Now, they do want still a pocket passing styled quarterback. They are going to look for a guy at the quarterback position that can make smart decisions, pass the ball accurately, and put it in the right positions first and foremost. But they like guys with pocket awareness at this point, and they don't care for guys with mobility like a Cam Newton or a Lamar Jackson, so don't go crazy, but they like guys, especially as of late, who have some mobility to them. Mac Jones can maneuver in the pocket. We see him scramble a lot more than we quite honestly should. Bailey Zappi, I think, is excellent with his pocket presence and awareness, being able to escape pressure and go out wide and extend plays. And Trace McSorley is a guy who can do also that. Now, through 9 career games, including his starting debut last season with the Cardinals, he completed 48 of 93 passes for 502 yards, 1 touchdown, and 5 interceptions. That touchdown to interception ratio is horrific. But on the ground, he was able to put up 79 yards on 21 carries. Again, this isn't a guy that is going to go much places in terms of what he's going to give you. He's not a guy you want starting. Again, he's going to be QB3. He's no roster lock at all. I'm sure the Patriots roll with 3 quarterbacks again this year. But it's going to be Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, and then Trace McSorley. Patriots are back to 3 quarterbacks again. Excuse me. I do believe that quarterback route should have been Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, and Brian Hoyer. I think that is a way better 3 quarterback depth chart here for the Patriots. It makes so much more sense, especially compared to like what you're trying to get out of your QB3 than Trace McSorley does. But the Patriots will be facing some very mobile quarterbacks this year, and that's something I want to hit on. They're going to be facing Pat Mahomes. They're going to be facing Jalen Hurts. They play Josh Allen twice a year. Tua is a very good scrambling quarterback too. So Brian Hoyer was obviously never going to give you that. Having somebody on the field who can kind of play as the scout team to help the defense prepare for these guys could potentially go a long way. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest advantages to having somebody like Trace McSorley as a guy who is going to help your defense prepare for a lot of the more mobile quarterbacks that you're going to have to face, because the Patriots have really struggled with mobile quarterbacks in recent history. But the New England Patriots signed free agent quarterback Trace McSorley to a 1-year deal. What are your guys' thoughts on this move? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.